following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, home for the great games. Welcome to Sunday Night Football here in the World Football League, where Week 9 comes to a conclusion with a Metropolitan Division matchup between the London Knights and the Philadelphia Blitz. Hi everyone, Glenn Walker again. We're coming to you live from Lincoln Financial Field. It's just 51 degrees here on an early November evening in 2021. Conditions are clear, slight wind, as these two Metropolitan Divisions will get underway here shortly. As we head on to take a look at the field, the teams are finishing up their warm-ups. We'll tell you a little bit about these two teams. The London Knights, currently the top of the Metropolitan Division. They're 7-1, top of the division, also top of the Eastern Conference. They are coached by Sean Payton. He replaced Mike Zimmer end of last season. The problem with the London Knights, they have a great regular season record. Last two seasons, they've won 10 or more games, but then they're bounced in the first game of the playoffs. So it's hoped that Sean Payton, with his two Pantheon Bowl winning seasons of 2013-2015 with Birmingham, will be the experienced hand needed here. And this team has been amazing so far this year. Only one loss so far. And last week, they continued their winning ways with a 22-10 win over Houston. They'll be facing Metropolitan Division foe, the Philadelphia Blitz. Philadelphia comes in at an even 500, 4-4. They are tied for third in the Metropolitan Division, and they have the fifth seed in the Eastern Conference. So they have one of the two wild card seeds, and we begin thinking about that now with the end of the regular season just 5 weeks away. They're coached by Mike McCarthy. This is his third season with the club. First year came in, they just won the Pantheon Bowl, 2019, and then crazy things started happening. Andrew Luck decides to retire during preseason of 2020. They still managed to go 8-6. They qualify for the playoffs. They win the wild card round, but then lose in the Eastern Divisional playoffs. They are dealing with injuries this year. Starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is out. Starting running back Saquon Barkley out. One of their talented wide receivers, Deebo Samuel's out, but they are still finding a way to hang on to a playoff spot so far with just 5 weeks left. And they're going to have a tough task heading in tonight. So we'll tell you more about both teams as the evening progresses. So both teams have finished the pregame ceremonies, and we're going to go down to the field for the coin toss. Our referee tonight is Adrian Hill. And Philadelphia has won the toss. They have elected to receive. Second meeting between the two teams this year. Back in week 1, London defeated Philadelphia at Wembley Stadium by a score of 20-17. Pat O'Donnell is prepared to tee it up. He'll be looking to kick it off to the deep man, Nasir Adderley. Ruggs and Kirk are the short men. And this one's going to be a deep kick. It's going to go through the end zone, touchback, and this is where Philadelphia will start business. Kirk Mullins is a starting quarterback. Probably not the name most people would have thought of at the beginning of the season, what with Jimmy Garoppolo being named the starter, but now Jimmy Garoppolo out for another 6 weeks with injury. It is up to Kirk Mullins to keep the ship afloat, as it were. So he'll get the start at quarterback. Ronald Jones II also seeing a lot more time at running back with the injury to Saquon Barkley. The blocking back will be Jordan Atkins. The tackles are Dion Dawkins and Caleb McGarry. The guards are Kevin Dotson and Nick Allegretti. Center is David Andrews. Wide receivers, Robbie Anderson and Juju Smith-Schuster, and at tight end, Hunter Henry. First and 10 for Philadelphia. I formation behind Mullins. He calls out the signals. Just underway here in Philly. Jones will get the handoff straight up the middle. Finally brought down by Schobert, who pulls him down at the 22. Let's take a look at that London defense, top 10 defense. They're using that 4-3. The defensive lineman, Max Crosby and Derek Wolf are the defensive ends. Inside interior linemen, Leonard Williams and Dalvin Thompson. Middle linebacker, Joe Schobert. He's flanked by Darius Leonard and Pernell McPhee. The defensive backs, Sean Murphy-Bunting and Patrick Peterson are the cornerbacks. And the safeties are Von Bell and Jamal Adams. 2nd and 8 for Philadelphia as they move right to left across your screen. They'll move into a 2 tight end formation. Mullins back to pass. Fires. And this one is picked off. Picked off by Patrick Peterson. He gets his 3rd interception of the year. And we have our game's first turnover, and London has the ball deep into Philadelphia territory. So just like that, Philadelphia turns the ball over. I think there was a deflection there by Leonard, and then Peterson was able to take the ball away. So Russell Wilson and the 3rd-ranked London Knights offense will take the field now. Wilson at quarterback. Behind him will be Raheem Mostert. Mostert's getting the starting time today because regular starting running back Myles Gaskin out with a hand injury. He's going to be missing 3 weeks. Fullback Anthony Sherman. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill. Tight end will be Gerald Everett. Tackles will be Isaiah Wynn and Titus Howard. The guards are Cesar Ruiz and Andrew Norwell. Center will be Rodney Hudson. 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 18. No score. Lone setback is Everett. Wilson back to pass. Fires downfield, incomplete. Looking to throw it to Diggs, but it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. Let's take a look at that Philadelphia defense. The ends are Brandon Graham and Carlos Dunlap. Interior linemen are Contavious Street and Chris Jones. Middle linebacker will be... they're using the 2 linebacker setup, so it's Josie Jewell and Matt Judon. The defensive backs are Harris, Curl, Slay, and Ojemudia. 2nd down. 2 tight end formation now for London. Mostert the lone setback. Wilson being chased, fires off a screen to Mostert. Mostert gets to the 10. Finally brought down by Judon at the 7. But enough for the 1st down. 1st and goal, London at the Philadelphia 7. Philadelphia with their backs to the wall already here. I formation now behind Wilson. Hand off to Mostert. He's going to sweep right, past the 5. Finally dropped by Dunlap at the 2. London coming into the game with the second ranked running offense. Philadelphia with their 12th ranked running defense. They've allowed 10 rushing touchdowns so far this season. Brings up 2nd and goal. Ball at the Philadelphia 2. Just under 13 minutes left to play here in the 1st quarter. Mostert, the deep back. He'll get the handoff again, straight up the middle, and breaks the goal line, or so it would appear. Mike McCarthy has thrown out the challenge flag. Adrian Hill will take a look at it on the monitor. Hill has been officiating for the WFL since 2010. He's been a head referee since 2019. And replay confirms that Mostert was shy of the goal line. So it brings up 3rd and goal. Ball is just inches away from the goal line. Christian McCaffrey will make an appearance, very limited this year due to a preseason injury. So full house backfield, McCaffrey, Mostert, and Sherman behind Wilson. McCaffrey gets the handoff, and he's over, apparently, again. And it looks like another challenge coming from Mike McCarthy. As they clear it out, Adrian Hill, the aerospace software engineer from Bowie, Maryland, will try to sort this one out on the monitor. And again, another stop. So the Philadelphia Blitz making a defensive stand on the goal line here. Brings up 4th and goal. Sean Payton tells Russell Wilson to keep the offense out there. No doubt about it. They're going to go for it. The crowd here at Lincoln Financial getting louder and louder, yelling defense, trying to help the defense make a stand here. Full house backfield. Man in motion. McCaffrey gets the snap, touchdown. Little quick hitter there to the left-hand side. He gets in. Touchdown London. That's their 10th rushing touchdown as a team this season. Now, let's see if we can catch that again on the replay. He goes in motion, and then the snap, and then the quick toss over to the left. What a great play there by London. O'Donnell will come out now to kick the extra point. And it's up and good. So, taking advantage of the interception, London goes 6 plays for 18 yards, takes a little bit over 2 minutes, and scores the game's first points. London leads it 7-0 with 12:03 left to go. O'Donnell preparing to kick off once again. This is going to be a short kickoff to Adderley this time from the 5. Finally gets out to the 42 before he's taken down. Mullins will bring the Philadelphia offense out again. They're in their red home jerseys at the white sleeves and the silver pants, silver helmets, and white numerals. London is in their visiting white jerseys, white pants, black numerals, and gold helmets. I formation behind Mullins. Philadelphia trailing 7-0 early. Handoff to Jones. He's going to go left, and he's going to be slow getting up from that one. Man, Philadelphia really suffering from the injury bug already. They're missing Saquon Barkley, who, best estimates from what we hear, another 6 weeks out. Garoppolo is out with an injury. Will miss probably the rest of the regular season. So now, in will come third string running back A.J. Dillon on 2nd and 6. They'll shift to the 3 wide receiver format. Mullen back to pass from the pistol. Fires over the middle for Dillon, but it's incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 6. Yeah, in addition to the 3 that I mentioned earlier, the Phillies also missing guard Isaac Suomalo, defensive lineman Solomon Thomas, cornerback Stephon Gilmore, and cornerback Kendall Sheffield. So a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball there for Philadelphia. 3rd and 6, 11:43 to go here in the first quarter. They'll empty out the backfield here. Man in motion. Oh, and then Mullins is dropped. London applying the pressure. Settle with the sack. And I'll bring up 4th and 18. Kevin Huber will come out to do the punting. And to return for London will be Steven Sims. Huber gets it away. Sims will take the ball inside the 15. Ball's loose. Someone hit him there. but it is recovered by another London Knight player. So London will hang on to the ball. Close shave there for London. As we mentioned, last week, London defeated Houston 22-10. Russell Wilson was 20 of 33, 194 yards, 1 touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 15 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown in that game. They'll start at their own 24. I formation behind Wilson. Mostert gets the call, swings left out to the 30 before he's tackled by Graham. Injury report for London, not as lengthy as it is for Philadelphia. As we mentioned, Myles Gaskin out with a hand injury, out for 3 weeks. DJ Chark is out for at least 1 more week. Tackle Tyron Smith might make it back before the end of the regular season, and tackle Lane Johnson with a knee injury, hoping to have both of those players back, 2 tackles back before the playoffs get started. Everett will replace Mostert in the backfield. Three wide receiver set, Wilson in the pistol. He fires to Everett in the screen, but it's incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 4 for London. Russell Wilson on the season, 196 for 286 attempts, a 68.5% completion percentage, 2,191 yards, 15 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. Has a quarterback rating of 107.1. They'll empty out the backfield here. Man in motion. Wilson has time, back to pass, completes the Diggs for the first down at the 35. Finally brought down by Slay at the 36. With just under 10 minutes to go. London leads at 7-0. Mostert back into the game at running back. I formation behind Wilson on first down. He'll hand off to Mostert. Off tackle right. Met at the line there by Howard. They're going to give him 2 yards. I'm sorry, he's met by Jenkins and a gain of 2. So we're going to get 2nd and 8, 9 minutes to go, first quarter. Three wide receivers set now for Wilson. Wilson back to pass. Fires complete to Cobb. He's got the first down near midfield. And he's brought down at the London 48. 1st and 10 for London. Offense moving the ball very well. Going back to the I formation now. Mostert back in at running back. Hand off to Mostert. Sweep left. Across the midfield. Over to the 45. And finally stopped at the Philadelphia 40. Gain of 12 yards for London. Mostert so far on the season, playing behind Myles Gaskin, just 64 carries, 347 yards, but 4 touchdowns so far on the season. And again, considering McCaffrey at limited availability, the running game has been doing quite well, 2nd ranked in the WFL. 2 tight ends set now on 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 40. Everett and Schultz are the tight ends. Wilson has time, completes over to Tyreek Hill at the 30. They're going to do a measurement, but he does have the first down. So they'll give him credit for the first down. Ball will be marked at the Philadelphia 30. A good drive here by London. Philadelphia's defense struggling. Philadelphia came in today with a 7th ranked defense. Good against the pass coming in. They're 3rd in the league against the pass, 12th against the run. They'll stay in that 2 tight ends formation. Wilson back to pass, completes it to Everett at the 25. Finally spun down by Curl at the 23. Brings up 2nd and 3. Approaching the 5-minute mark left in the first quarter. Mostert and Sherman are in at running back. Mostert gets the handoff. He's going to go left side. He's close to the first down, but no. They mark him back at the line of scrimmage. Graham had him at the 23, so it brings up 3rd and 3 for London. This will be the 10th play of the drive, after forcing the Philadelphia punt on their 2nd drive. They'll stay with the I formation here. Mostert's already carried the ball 6 times for 27 yards. Mostert gets the handoff. He's got the first down, a little more. Stiffs armed a tackler at the 10, finally brought down by Jenkins at the 4. 1st and goal, London, with 4.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Red zone, taking a look at the red zone percentages. London 17th in the league. They're successful 80% of the time in the red zone. And Philadelphia's defense, they rank 11th. They are 86.7% successful in preventing scoring in the red zone. Wilson calling out the signals. Hands off to Mostert again. Past the goal line, in for a touchdown. And London is making it look really easy tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns. First one by McCaffrey, the second one by Mostert. And just look at the blocking and the openings there provided by that London offensive line. O'Donnell will come on to kick the point after. And misses it. Goes to the left. So a missed point after. And London leads it 13-0 with 3:44 to go. An 11-play, 76-yard drive that took up nearly half the quarter, 7 minutes and 6 seconds. So Philadelphia finds himself down by double digits. And we'll try to get a word here on Ronald Jones to see the extent of his injury. And he does have an injury, and he's expected to miss 2 weeks there, so he will not be returning to game. I think it was something to do with his knee, if I remember correctly, in the readout there. It was something to do with his knee. So A.J. Dillon's going to have to carry the load here. Something to consider for Philadelphia, the WFL trading deadline in another week. Maybe they could pick up somebody at running back, so that might be something that they will consider. O'Donnell's kick picked up by Adderley at the goal line. Finally blocked by Lewis at the 32. So Philadelphia finds themselves in a hole early against London, a team that you don't want to be in that position too. Last week, Philadelphia lost versus Tampa Bay 27-13. Mullins had a very good game statistically. He was 34-53, 321 yards, and 1 touchdown in that game. 3 wide receiver set for Philadelphia. Dillon's the lone setback. Mullins back to pass. Fires the screen over to Dillon. He's got room. Finally brought down by Schobert at the 41. So he's a yard shy of the first down. And they'll try to pick it up here. Dillon behind Akins in the I formation. And he's close. And they do signal. Referee Adrian Hill signals first down for Philadelphia. And I believe, that's their first down of the game. So some small victories there for Philadelphia, moving the ball. They'll place the ball at their 43, 2:41 to go, trailing by 13. They'll move to a 2 tight end set now. Mullins back to pass. Fires complete to Akins at the 50. And he'll be stopped there by Leonard. Brings up 2nd and 2. Actually, the referee's going to spot the ball at the London 49, so they're inside London territory for the first time. So Philadelphia making some gains here in their 3rd drive of the game. Mullins from the pistol. Play action. He's going to look long. Checks down to Parker at the 45. He'll finally be brought down at the London 42. It's a first down. Just over a minute left here in the first quarter. And Philadelphia, things are starting to click for them late in the first quarter. Back to the 2 tight end alignment. Mullins back to pass, completes it to Akins at the 35. Finally brought down by Leonard. And that will probably be the last play of the first quarter. And at the end of 15, it is the London Knights 13 and the Philadelphia Blitz nothing. Our next Sunday night football broadcasts will have the Orlando Apollos and the Houston Roughnecks. Josh Allen having a fantastic season for the #1 ranked offense as Orlando pays a visit to the Houston Roughnecks, a Southern Division matchup. We're going to get to see rookie Joe Burrow in action. This will be his first primetime game. He played this week in Week 9 in their game earlier today. So we'll get to see our first primetime nationwide look at Joe Burrow. That'll be next week's game here on Sunday Night Football in the World Football League. And our next broadcast from the Replay Sports Channel will be 67 Major League Baseball replay. We're going to have the Boston Red Sox, Minnesota Twins. It's going to be coming up in the next day or so. I'll be broadcasting that one for you from the Twin Cities. From Metropolitan Stadium, we're going to have Carl Yastrzemski for the Red Sox. We're going to have Harmon Killebrew of the Minnesota Twins. A great American League matchup there. Boston and Detroit are back and forth, tied for the lead heading into August. Just 2 months left to go in that replay. So definitely make sure to join us for that. If you haven't signed up, make sure to do so on our YouTube channel. So that way when a new game drops, you'll be able to watch it when it's available. And appreciate our new joins and any feedback comments you can give us as well. All right, so quick look at the first quarter statistics and scoreboard and the statistics. It's been all London. Time of possession, yards, score, all London. But as we see toward the end of the first quarter, Philadelphia, beginning to claw back. They had their first serious drive inside London territory. So it's 2nd and 1 as we start the second quarter. Dillon is the lone setback, having to come in for Ronald Jones, who went out with a knee injury early in the first quarter. And Dillon will be knocked out of bounds by Murphy Bunting at the 29. So they get a first down. So, things are going bad to worse for Philadelphia. Mullins is intercepted on their opening possession. Jones goes out. They're starting running back. So they are looking to make lemonade out of lemons right now. Brings up 1st and 10. Two tight end formation. Mullins play action to Dillon. Fires, but it's incomplete. Leonard jumped in front of that one, in front of Akins, and knocked it down. Brings up 2nd and 10. Philadelphia will go to a 3 wide receiver set. Be Anderson, Smith, Schuster, and Parker. Dillon, the lone running back. Mullins back to pass, fires near side. It's incomplete. It was intended for Parker. Philadelphia used to have the services of Julio Jones, but he is no longer with the team. Left via free agency during the offseason. Juju Smith-Schuster seems to be the heir apparent, as it were. Brings up 3rd and 10 now, as Philadelphia will empty out the backfield. Kirk will be the 4th wide receiver coming in. Mullins surveys the field. He's back in the pistol. Man in motion. Mullins with time completes it to Anderson at the 20. He's got a first down inside the red zone. Patrick Peterson with the tackle. So 12-yard pickup for Mullins. He's 5 of 9 for 45 yards. His counterpart, or his opponent on the other sideline, Russell Wilson, 5 of 7 for 44 yards. This will be the 10th play coming up in Philadelphia's drive. They'll go back to 3 wide receiver set now. Play action to Dillon. Oh, goodness. He pitched it over to Andrews, the center. And Crosby was in on that. Max Crosby saw through that. Said, no, sir, not in this house. So it brings up 2nd and 11. So kind of a weird play. We saw something like that, I think, last week's game as well. So Mullins will move back into the pistol. Philadelphia trying to get on the scoreboard here. Down 13-0. Early second quarter. Mullins back to pass, looking for Parker, but Schobert's there to tip it. Brings up 3rd and 11. London's defense ranked 10th overall, 3rd against the run, 10th against the pass. That interception coming in earlier, that's only the 6th interception that London has had as a defensive unit so far this year. 4 wide receivers for Philadelphia. Mullins back to pass, completes to Smith-Schuster at the 10, the 5. And that's a touchdown for Philadelphia. They've cut the lead in half. Look at that play again. Slight little slant to the inside. Mullins finds him. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Prater will add the point after. It's good. So Philadelphia only trails by 6 points now to London. For Smith-Schuster, that's his 7th passing reception touchdown of the season. And for Mullins, that's his 9th touchdown pass. So a 12-play, 68-yard drive just takes up over 6 minutes, and Philadelphia is on the board. Prater's kickoff just to the goal line. Johnson, the return man, gets it to about the 17. So London will start at their own 17. Russell Wilson leading the offense once again. 2 tight ends set up for them. Everett and Schultz are the tight ends. Back to pass. Fires quickly to Schultz, but Harris jumped the route, swatted it away. 2nd and 10. Second and 10 from the 17. 12:16 to go before halftime. Mostert the lone setback. Wilson back to pass. Fires in the flat to Mostert. He gets to the 20. Fumbles the ball. Looks like Tyreek Hill for London has made the recovery. So London has had 2 close calls with the loose pigskin there, and both times they've been able to hang on to the football. The officials will mark a gain of 8 on the play, brings up 3rd and 2 for London. got a sense, though, that with that touchdown, Philadelphia is back in this. They're beginning to sensing the momentum change here. Four wide receivers set for Russell Wilson. Diggs, Hill are the two main receivers. Completes it to Sims at the 30. He's got the first down. Finally brought down by Yadam at the London 30. So 1st and 10 for the London Knights. Mostert in as the eye back. Hand off to Mostert. He'll go left side near the 35. Brought down by Jewell at the 33. So it brings up 2nd and 7. On the day, Raheem Mostert, 9 carries, 53 yards. He's also had 2 catches for 19. He'll go back to the sidelines, replaced by Everett, who's a tight end / H-back in the London offense under Coach Sean Payton. Diggs, Hill, and Cobb are the 3 wide receivers. Russell Wilson back, has time, completes it to Cobb on the far side. He's knocked out of bounds by Oji Medua after a gain of 6. So it brings up 3rd and 1. Need for the 1 yard. And we see the full house backfield of the London Knights come in once again. This time it's Mostert trying to get the 1 yard. He gets over the line. Graham pulled him down at the 44. First down, London. 9:11 to go here in the second quarter. London leads at 13-7. Mostert will stay in the game as the lone setback. On 1st and 10. Wilson back. Has time. Floats a pass to Mostert, but it's incomplete, and Wilson got hit on that play. Wilson gets hit, and he is leveled on that play. We'll try to take a look at the replay again as the trainers are taking a look at Russell Wilson. I'm trying to see who hit him there, if it was Jones or Street. But anyway, just for safety precautions, they're going to take Wilson out of the game for just a moment. Mike Glennon is coming in. Mike Glennon will be in to run the offense, while Wilson hopefully will be back in a few plays. Brings up 2nd and 10, ball at the London 44, 8:26 to go. And of course, the concern about Russell Wilson right now. Mostert, the lone setback. Glennon hands off to Mostert. Mostert swings right, past the 50, has the first down at the Philadelphia 44. Again, Mostert last week in that game versus Houston. 15 carries, 125 yards, and 1 touchdown. He already has his 1 touchdown already this game, and he's going to be getting a lion's share of the work today, so he's going to be going after the 100-yard mark again. Again, it's expected that Myles Gaskin will be back in about 3 weeks. So the sideline, they're still working on Russell Wilson. Brings up 1st and 10. Glennon still running the offense for London. I formation behind Glennon. Hand off to Mostert up the middle. Gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Brings up 2nd and 10. And I'm sure the London medical staff are going through probably concussion protocols, making sure that Russell Wilson is okay. So Glennon's running the calls now. He'll hand off to Mostert. Mostert's looking for a hole on the left side. And no gain. And Russell Wilson putting his helmet on, coming back into the game now. He is cleared to play. And coming back in at a crucial time, 3rd and 10 with the ball at the Philadelphia 44, 6:46 left to go before halftime. And we'll see what they do here. They'll go 3 wide receivers. Diggs, Hill, Cobb, the wide receiver. Schultz, the tight end. Everett, the H-back. Wilson, with time, back to pass, completes to Diggs at the 40, and he's going to be well short of the first down. He's finally brought down by Slay at the 38. Brings up 4th and 3. And Sean Payton will send out the kicking unit. So Harrison Butker out. He has yet to miss, he's missed 1 field goal. He's 22 of 23 in the field goal department. And this, from the distance here, ball's at the 37. So let's see. This may be his longest attempt of the season. His longest of the season so far has been from 50 yards. This will definitely be a little bit longer. Hardly no wind here at Lincoln Financial Field. This one might be from around 53, 54 yards. 54-yard attempt by Butker is good. So he has a new long field goal attempt. It's good. And the Knights lead by 9 points with just 5.5 minutes left to go before halftime. So London, 12-play, 46-yard drive, takes up 6 minutes, 46 seconds. They had a little bit of a scare. Russell Wilson to go out for a few plays after that hard knock. But they still find a way to add points to the scoreboard. The kickoff is deep, goes through the end zone, and for a touchback. So Butker's kick through the end zone. Philadelphia will take over at their own 20. 5:28 left to go here before halftime. Mullins will start things off using the 3 wide receiver set. Anderson, Smith, Schuster, and Parker are the wide receivers. Mullins back to pass, has perfect protection, completes it to Parker at the 30. He's got room to run. 40, 45, finally brought down by McPhee at the 48. Mullins in that loss versus Tampa Bay threw 34-53, 321 yards, and a touchdown. 5:19 left. They'll stay in that 3 wide receiver set. Mullins from the pistol fires over the middle for Henry, but Adams is close by and knocks it away. Brings up 2nd and 10. Mullins, once again, fires, looking down deep, completes it to Parker at the London 40. Finally brought down by Murphy Bunting at the London 36, a 16-yard gain for Philadelphia. Philadelphia once again moving the ball down the field, just under 4.5 minutes to go until halftime. Philadelphia needs a score here. Something to keep in mind too, London lost the coin toss, and they get the ball to start the second half. Mullins breaks the huddle. Gets the snap. Back to pass. Looking. Finds Anderson. Checks down to Anderson somewhere around the 35. Peterson stops him at the London 32. So Philadelphia's already covered 48 yards so far in 4 plays. Mullins standing, looking, fires to Smith-Schuster near the 30. Tackled by Gibson. They'll have to measure for the first down. They say he does have the first down. They'll mark the ball at the London 26. This 3 wide receiver set is working well for Philadelphia. Mullins again over the middle to Anderson at the 15. Drilled by Peterson, but Anderson is able to hang on, and Philadelphia is hurrying quickly to the line. They're trying to get a playoff prior to the 2-minute warning. Draw play to Dillon up the middle, but it's going nowhere. Max Crosby sniffed that one out, tackled at the 17, and we are officially at the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 14, balls at the London 17. Philadelphia trails 16-7. Kirk Mullins so far, 11 of 17, 130 yards. I don't know why I called him Kirk. It's Nick Mullins. Sorry. Nick Mullins. And they'll go 4 wide receiver set this time. Mullins, back to pass. Looking for Anderson, incomplete. Peterson with some good coverage there. Brings up 3rd and 14. Minute 56 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Need to get to the 3-yard line for a first down. Mullins by himself in the backfield. Has time. Fires once again, looking this time for Parker. And it's broken up by Lewis. So it brings up 4th and 14. Mike McCarthy will send in Matt Prater in the field goal kicking unit. Prater so far this year 12 of 15 for field goals. Standing at around the 25. Snap. Hold, kick, it's good. They're going to give him credit for a 35-yard field goal attempt. And Philadelphia cuts the lead to 6. Minute 49 left to go until halftime. London's going to be getting the ball back here. They have all 3 of their timeouts, plus they get the ball at the start of the 3rd quarter. Short kickoff, Johnson pedals back from the 4, finally brings it out and stopped near the 26. We have our first penalty of the evening. Adrian Hill will be taking to the microphone. We heard him earlier on some replay reviews. We have holding on the receiving team, and that will push London, to the delight of Philadelphia fans, back to their own 6-yard line. So how does this change things for London? They'll go 3 wide receiver set. Wilson standing just inside his own end zone. Back to pass. Time. Completes it to Diggs. Finally stopped at the 13-yard line. Wilson goes hurry up offense here. Wilson looking. Fires over to Cobb. A slant pass. He's past the 15, past the 20. Finally brought down at the London 24. 67 seconds left until halftime. 1st and 10. Wilson, 11 of 15, 88 yards so far. Back to pass. Looking long. Complete to Tyreek Hill. He catches at the 40. Finally tackled at the London 44. Quick timeout called by London. And Sean Payton will want to talk things over there with Russell Wilson. So it brings up 1st and 10, ball at the 44. Again, the strategy here, London would like to get a score here. They get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter and get a score there and start to put this game away. They'll move to 4 wide receivers this time. 2 timeouts left. Man in motion. Wilson with the ball. Back to pass. He fires near side to Cobb, but it goes right through his hands. Incomplete. Cobb's looking at those gloves as he heads back to the huddle. 45 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from the London 44. Wilson brings him up to the line. Quick snap, back to pass, fires over the middle. Oh, Diggs could not hang on. Slay with the hit. And Diggs drops the ball. 3rd and 10, 38 seconds left. London has 2 timeouts. Philadelphia has all 3. Wilson calling out the signals. Back to pass, looking. Fires far side over to Diggs. He steps out of bounds. It's only a gain of 3 yards. So decision time here. 4th and 7. Sean Payton will send out the punting unit rather than attempt a 4th and 7 and give Philadelphia a short field if that attempt were to fail. So Pat O'Donnell comes in. And they might try to delay of game here. Let's see what happens. Yes, so they're going to back him up. They'll take some more yardage there. So a delay of game called there on London. So backs him up to the London 42. So they're going to punt it deep. This ball's going to land, it looks like, inside the 10. Kirk's going to try to bring it out. He does. And with 29 seconds left, Philadelphia might attempt to play here. To paraphrase the Las Vegas Outlaw coach, Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit. 3 timeouts, 29 seconds. McCarthy willing to gamble here from their own 17. And in motion. Mullins back to pass, fires complete to Anderson at a 25. They'll measure to make sure. And he does have the first down. Quick timeout called by Philadelphia. Let's see what happens here. I mean, you could have a defensive penalty happen and move the ball closer. Maybe attempt a field goal, narrow it down to 3 points. Never know. See what happens here. Mullins back to pass. Has time. Looking downfield. Going to have to settle for Kirk over there at 31. Another timeout called by Philadelphia. Brings up 2nd and 4. Mullins back to pass again. Looking. Has Schuster near midfield. And 10 seconds left. They'll call their last timeout. Last timeout for Philadelphia. And this might be the duck and chuck time here. Yep, they're going to bring in 5 wide receivers. And he's just going to toss this one toward the end zone. See if they can at least score a touchdown, and take the lead at halftime. We'll see what happens here. 5 wide receivers for Mullins. No timeouts. Man in motion. He's got time. Looking. Fires deep downfield. For Anderson, it's incomplete. So that's how the first half will end. We've got an entertaining one here as the London Knights lead at 16-10. They're going to take the second half kickoff after halftime. And we're coming near the end of halftime here in our Sunday night football game between London and Philadelphia. London leading here 16-10. Getting ready to start third quarter. I thought we'd just give you a quick look at the standings coming in. As we mentioned earlier in our broadcast, London 7-1. They have the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Number 2 seed is Orlando. They have a big commanding lead there in the Southern Division. Followed by number 3, Toronto, with 7-2 record. New York Generals, 5-4. They've improved recently. They're at the number 4 seed. Philadelphia, need a win here tonight, try to hold on to that 5 seed. And the 6th seed currently is Tampa Bay. Birmingham, Washington, and Houston, due to conference record breakdowns, they are outside of playoff contention right now. And of course, San Antonio, poor San Antonio, 0-9, officially out of playoff contention this week. Looking over at the Western Conference, number 1 seed Memphis, formerly the San Diego Fleet, doing quite well in their new division home of the Central Division, 6-3. They have number 1 seed. Game back of them is Oakland from the Pacific Division. They're struggling, 5-4. 3rd seed St. Louis. They're having a good season. Chip Kelly on the hot seat, needs to make the playoffs this season. Detroit also doing well at 6-3 under new head coach Dan Campbell. Las Vegas 5-4 is the 5 seed. Los Angeles, even with Dak Prescott going down, the controversy over the John Gruden email, and then him being fired, they're sitting at 4-5. They're holding on to the 6th and final wild card spot. And the teams that are on the outside looking to try to improve things as we head into the final 5 weeks of the season: Denver, Mexico City, Arizona, the defending league champion, at 3-6, and the Chicago Fire at 2-7. So quickly going back down to the field as the teams are finishing their coming back out onto the field, preparing for the 3rd quarter, taking a look at those halftime statistics. Comparing them with the first quarter statistics, Philadelphia is doing much better than they did in the first quarter. Time of possession, total yards, and on the scoreboard, they scored more points than London did in the 2nd quarter. They still trail 16-10. London will get the ball first. Prater is set to kick off. Beautiful evening here, 51 degrees here in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field. And we'll start the 2nd half. Prater with a short kickoff. Johnson will retrieve it at about the 12. Finally stopped at the 50. We have another flag, and this is going to be another holding call on London. They had one toward the end of the first half. They had a holding call there. So that'll move the ball back to their own 11-yard line. So Russell Wilson, first half, 13 of 19, 111 yards. Raheem Mostert getting a lot of the work, 13 carries, 70 yards. Mostert in the I formation, deep back, on 1st and 10. He'll get the handoff. He's going to go off tackle right. Maybe a gain 2, finally brought down by Street. And London content to continue using that I formation as we start the 3rd quarter. Mostert again, handoff. This time he's got the first down past the 20. Judon brings him down at the 25. So a first down. London moves the ball to their 25. First and 10. Just underway here, 3rd quarter. London leading by 6. Handoff to Mostert, and he's finally brought down by Jenkins at the 30, a gain of 5. Mostert now 16 carries, 89 yards, well on his way to a 100-yard day. Now they'll shift to the 3 wide receiver set. Wilson in the pistol. He's in trouble. He's going to have to make a run for it as the pocket collapses. He might get a gain of a yard. Matt Judon is there to meet him at the 31. Brings up 3rd and 4. Let's compare the two teams and how well they've done on 3rd down so far. London is 4 of 7 on 3rd downs. Philadelphia 2 of 4. London needs a pickup here to keep the drive alive. Wilson will empty out the backfield. Diggs, Hill, Sims, and Cobb are the wide receivers. Wilson back to pass, has time, fires a short one out to Sims, but it was a little bit too far ahead of him, incomplete. And that brings up 4th down, so a little bit of a moral victory there for Philadelphia as they are able to force London to punt. Pat O'Donnell back out to punt. Has not had a punt blocked so far this season. Christian Kirk back to return. Gets away a deep one. Kirk gets it inside the 20. He'll make a fair catch. They'll mark the ball at the 20-yard line. So Kirk, keep calling him Kirk. It's Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins brings out the Philadelphia offense. Trailing just by 6 points. Mullins, 14 of 23, 162 yards. Did have the one interception on the game's first possession. They'll go with the two tight end format. Akins and Henry are the two tight ends. Dillon is the lone setback. If you joined us late, Jones went out with a knee injury. Pass attempt over the middle is incomplete, and there's also a holding call. So the first penalty on Philadelphia, holding on to Andrews, is going to back up Philadelphia to their own 10-yard line, make it 1st and 20. So 1st and 20, ball at the Philadelphia 10. 11 and a half minutes to go here in the third quarter. Dillon the lone setback in the two tight end formation. Mullins back to pass. Fires a screen over to Dillon. He's past the 10. We have another penalty. And we had hardly no penalties in the first half, and now the flags are flying here by Adrian Hill and his crew. Holding on Andrews once again. Boy, I hate to be that guy in the huddle right now. They're backed up half the distance to the Philadelphia 5. And head coach Mike McCarthy's just shaking his head. Just unbelievable. Self-inflicted mistakes can cost you ball games. So it's 1st and 25 now. As they'll go to a 3 wide receiver set now. Mullen will set up in the gun. Dillon the lone setback. Mullen calling out the signals. Back in his own end zone. Back to pass. Completes to Henry, the 15. Henry brought down by Adams. That's Henry's first catch of the night. Moves the ball to the Philadelphia 16. Brings up 2nd and 14 now. They'll empty out the backfield on 2nd and 14. Anderson, Smith, Schuster, Parker are the wide receivers. Mullen completes to Kirk at the 25. Oh, he's so close to a first down. Kirk is stopped by Woods, 2 yards shy of the 30-yard line. So it brings up 3rd and 2. Again, Philadelphia 2 of 4 so far tonight on 3rd downs. Dillon comes back in the game now. Probably more so to have London think of a possible draw or screen. Mullins from the gun. Man in motion. Has time. Back to pass. Completes to Anderson. He's got the first down at 30. And he was brought down immediately. Peterson at the Philadelphia 32. We're just under 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And Philadelphia converts a 3rd down. Huge play for Philadelphia to keep the drive alive after 2 bad holding penalties there that moved them near their own goal line. So they get out of the shadow of their own end zone there and keep the drive going. Mullins lines up under center. Dillon the lone setback. Play action. Oh my goodness. And Mullins is hit by Crosby. The ball is stripped down, but yes, Philadelphia still has possession of the ball. Crosby got a great jump on his opponent there and had Mullins wrapped up, punched the ball out. Loss of 4 on the play, so it brings up 2nd and 14 at the Philadelphia 28. This time Mullins will move into the pistol. Crosby's just been a maniac out there tonight. Mullins, with time this time, completes it to Anderson near the 39. Peterson will bring him down there. Brings up 3rd and 3. 8.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Philadelphia still in this game, despite London being a slight favorite heading into tonight. Philadelphia only trailing by a touchdown. Empty backfield behind Mullen as he breaks the huddle. 4 wide receiver set. Man in motion. Mullins, time, throws, completes to Anderson, and he dropped it. Anderson drops it, and we also have an injured player. DeMar Dotson is leaving the field. He's grabbing his arm to indicate to the medical trainer where he's hurting at. So another offensive lineman out for Philadelphia, and it brings up 4th and 3, and also Kevin Huber in the punting unit. So a frustrating set of downs there for Philadelphia. Leaves Mike McCarthy scratching his head. Huber back to punt, Sims Jr. to return, standing near his 23-yard line. Huber gets it away. Sims is going to drip back to his 10. He's going to return it. Finally brought down at the London 25. 7.5 minutes to go. Both teams have had a possession now here in the second half and have had to punt. Out comes Russell Wilson and the London Knights offense. Doing well running the ball tonight. 19 attempts, 90 yards, 4.7 average, and the 2 rushing touchdowns. Mostert is the deep back. Behind Sherman. Gets the handoff up the middle, past the 30, and finally tackled by Jenkins at the 33. Get a report from our sideline reporter. DeMar Dotson is okay. They've taken a look at that arm or that pectoral on the chest, and they said he's good to go. He already has his helmet back on, and he'll be ready to go in Philadelphia's next series. Well, Wilson breaks the huddle. I formation, lines up behind him. Mostert nearing the 100-yard mark, has 97 for the evening. He gets the call, sweeps left, he's got 100 yards. Finally tackled at the 40 by Jewell. So 104 yards tonight for Raheem Mostert. 6.5 minutes left. Mostert gets the call again, off tackle left, finally stopped at the 45 by Graham. 19 carries, 109 yards for Mostert tonight. He'll go to the sideline for a much-deserved breather. Everett replaces him as the blocking back behind Wilson on 2nd and 5 from the London 45. Wilson taking his time, back to pass, fires a screen over to Everett. Everett is immediately met by 2 red shirts there. And Judon was shaken up, but he appears to be okay. Tackle was by Wilson, loss of 3, brings up 3rd and 8. Ball be placed at the London 42. Wilson breaks the huddle, clear out the backfield. Diggs, Hill, Sims Jr., and Cobb are the wide receivers. Man in motion near side. Wilson back to pass, has time. Completes the pass to Cobb near midfield. Tripped up by Adderley. Gain of 7 on the play brings up 4th and 1. So, decision time once again for Sean Payton and the London Knights. He's going to send out the punting crew again. And we'll see what they do here. They will take another delay of game. So, trying to get the other team to jump off sides for that 1 yard to get the 5-yard penalty. But Philadelphia's not gonna fall for that. So it moves the ball back 5 yards to the London 44. Still 4th down. Pat O'Donnell again to punt. Going to try to kick away from Kirk, it looks like. He does. Ball's going to come out of bounds near side, and the side judge official indicates the ball goes out the 16-yard line of Philadelphia. 3:47 left to go in a fast-moving third quarter. No scoring in the third quarter. All of it was in the first half. Knights lead at 16-10. Early November here in Philadelphia, just 51 degrees, clear skies, very little wind. Mullins breaks the huddle. Dillon the lone setback. Two tight ends, Akins and Henry, line up on either side. Mullins, back to pass, fires a screen to Dillon. He's past the 20, finally brought down by Schobert. And we have an injured player for Philadelphia. Oh, this is Akins. This looks serious. He's pointing down to his leg there, and he's being helped off. So a tight end goes out for Philadelphia. Jonnu Smith will be his replacement in the two tight end formation. So 1st and 10. Dillon the lone setback. He's only run the ball 3 times so far tonight since replacing Jones. Mullins throws, but it's tipped by Tomlinson at the line, so it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. Mullins, 19 of 30 for 211 yards tonight. Again, they've only run the ball total 6 plays for 7 yards. The rest of it's been through the air. Brings up 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers set in for Philadelphia. Anderson, Smith, Schuster, and Parker are the receivers. Mullins in the pistol, back to pass, completes over to Schuster at the 35. He stretches for the 1st down. He believes he's got it. Sean Payton's waving that red flag to challenge. And Adrian Hill's going to take a look at the monitor. And the decision has come back that Schuster is short. So the ball will be marked shy of the 1st down. It's 3rd and inches. 3:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And we'll see what Philadelphia does here. Dillon's the lone setback. Just inches to get to the 1st down marker. Dillon gets the call. Did he make the mark? He did. Dillon gets the play to indicate 1st down, and they'll move the chains. 1st down, Philadelphia. Three wide receivers set this time for Philadelphia. Play action to Dillon. Mullins back. Completes to Smith-Schuster at midfield. Whipped down by Gibson there at the London 49. 2.5 minutes to go. And Philadelphia's inside London territory for the first time in the second half. 2 tight end formation here on 1st down for the Blitz. Mullins back to pass. Completes it to Smith near the 45. Finally thrown down by Bell. Gain of 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Dillon, pitch right. Rare running play for Philadelphia here. And he gains 1 yard. 1 yard gain for Philadelphia. 68 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dillon once again the lone setback. Man in motion. Dillon tries to get near the line. He does. 1st down. And they're going to let the time expire. They're not going to have enough time to run another play. So we are headed to the 4th quarter. London leads 16-10. Philadelphia has the ball and they are threatening to score as we head into the 4th quarter of this one. Week 10 ends next week with a real good Southern Division matchup. The Orlando Apollos, they're the number 2 seed in the Eastern Division. They lead the Southern Division. They're going to go down to Houston, take on the Houston Roughnecks. It'll be a first time getting to see rookie Joe Burrow at quarterback for the Roughnecks. So that will be our primetime game next Sunday night here in the World Football League. And then our very next broadcast here in the next couple of days or so, depending on how my dentist appointment goes tomorrow, if I'll be able to talk, we're going to take the time machine back to August 5th, 1967. Saturday afternoon baseball, Boston Red Sox tied for first right now with the Detroit Tigers, taking on the up-and-coming Minnesota Twins. So that should be a good game for you as we head into the last 2 months of the 1967 season. Taking a look at the third quarter statistics, no scoring there, but again, Philadelphia has been playing as the games progress. In fact, they scored or they've gained more yards, first downs, but they're still edging there on time of possession. So Philadelphia hanging in there. So we reset. Start of the fourth quarter. Knights lead by 6. Philadelphia has the ball. 1st and 10. London 38. Philadelphia is moving right to left across your screen. I formation behind Nick Mullins. I got the name right this time. Dillon gets the transfer of the ball, but he's met immediately by Bell at the 39. A loss of 1 brings up 2nd and 11. Tell a big difference when there's no Saquon Barkley, and especially no Ronald Jones there. They've only run the ball 10 times tonight for just 10 yards. Brings up 2nd and 11. They'll empty out the backfield. Go 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Mullins in the pistol, back to pass, has time, looks, completes to Smith-Schuster at the 30. Finally brought down just a yard shy of the first down. A gain of 10 yards. Ball be placed at the London 9. Another 3rd and short for the Philadelphia Blitz. This time there'll be a split backfield behind Mullins. Thompson gets the ball. Oh, he's close. McCarthy's looking to challenge it, and he is. He throws the red flag. Let's see what Adrian Hill sees on his monitor on the replay. And wouldn't you know it, Philadelphia is given the first down. Sean Payton, not a very big fan of replay right now, as Philadelphia gets a controversial first down. By all looks here, and we'll look at it again, by all looks, he didn't get the line to gain. I didn't think he had it. And in fact, watching the sideline there, I thought I saw Matt Prater getting ready to come out to kick. But McCarthy and them said, no, stay on the sideline. So anyway, 12th play of the drive. Philadelphia's had the ball now for almost 5.5 minutes. We're at 13:26 to go here in the fourth quarter. They've hung in there. The 4-4 Philadelphia Blitz are hanging in there against the 7-1 London Knights. Back to the 1 running back, 2 tight end formation. Dillon's the lone setback. Off tackle right. He's met again at the line of scrimmage. Tomlinson drives him back a yard. Philadelphia struggling with the running game. And again, we did talk about trade deadline coming up in a week. Philadelphia might be looking to look for some help there at the trade deadline. Brings up 2nd and 11. Three wide receiver set. Mullen from the pistol. Back, has time, looks, fires near side. Incomplete. Oh, no, they're saying intercepted. No, Peterson intercepted the ball, but both feet were out of bounds. So almost a turnover there. but he was out of bounds, as we see on the replay there. Brings up 3rd and 11. The Philly crowd really trying to encourage the offense here. 14th play of the drive. Four wide receivers set for the blitz. Man in motion. Mullins with time. Back to pass. Schuster at the 25. Brought down by Murphy Bunting at the 23. Brings up 4th and 5. Decision time for McCarthy. He's going to send out Matt Prater. And this is, I think this is a wise coaching move here. You have 12:34 left to go in the fourth quarter. You're down by 6. The team the offense is playing a lot better than they did early on. And your defense is, you held London scoreless the whole third quarter. So Matt Prater will come on now. Let's see, 23, let's see, 5, 6. So this will be a 40-yard attempt for Matt Prater. Again, hardly no win tonight. Snap, hold, kick is going to go left. Oh, just as soon as I said it was a great coaching move. Prater's kick goes wide left, so Prater's kick from 40 is no good. 11:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. London's going to get the ball at their own 30. Prater disgusted with himself as he jogs back to the sideline. McCarthy could just shake his head as he's holding that big playbook size chart that he holds there. It looks like a menu from Waffle House or something. So Russell Wilson, after a long rest on the sideline, comes back out with the offense. They have a 6-point lead. Mostert, the I in the I formation. Mostert gets the handoff. He's going to lose a yard. Jenkins with the tackle. Bring up 2nd and 11 from the London 29. Wilson so far tonight, 15 to 22 for 115 yards. Hasn't been out on the field much in the second half. We saw a lot of him in the first half. 3 wide receiver set now for Wilson. Wilson from the pistol, back to pass, has time, completes it over to Cobb at the 35. Cobb brought down by Ojimadua, hope I'm saying his name right, gain of 8 yards, brings up 3rd and 3. They'll go 4 wide receivers set this time. Diggs, Hill, Sims, and Cobb are the wide receivers. Man in motion. Wilson with time from the pistol completes to Cobb again at the 43, tackled by Adderley. First down, ball at the London 44. 10.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Mostert back in. Him and Sherman will line up in the I formation behind Wilson. And before a play can get off, there is a penalty. False start on the right tackle, Howard, number 71. So they're backed up 5 yards. We'll try it again. Wilson calling the signals. Pitches right to Mostert. Mostert gets to the 40 and not much more. Tackled by Jenkins at the 42, gain of 3 yards. We're under the 10-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Knights holding on to a 6-point lead, 16 to 10 here in Philadelphia. 2 tight ends set up now for Russell Wilson. Everett and Schultz are the tight ends. Mostert the lone setback. Wilson back to pass. Fires deflected. Harris with a deflection there for Philadelphia. And brings up 3rd and 12. Philadelphia fans rising to their feet here. Their defense, so far in the second half, has pitched a shutout. They have not allowed any scoring by London in the second half. They're keeping their team in the game so far. London will empty out the backfield. 4 wide receiver set. Man in motion. Wilson with time. Back to pass. Fires. He was looking for Diggs. 2 guys on him. Is incomplete. Brings up 4th down. And some concern here if you're rooting for the London Knights. Pat O'Donnell out to punt once again. Christian Kirk is the deep man. And this one, O'Donnell's going to get a beauty away. This one's going to land inside the 5. Kirk is saying stay away from it. And it finally rolls dead. It's touchdown inside the 5. They're going to roll dead at the 4-yard line. So at the Philadelphia 4 is where the Blitz will start work. 8:51 to go here in the 4th quarter. London struggling a bit here in the second half. We'll take a look at the play-by-play chart here, or the drive chart. Look at that second half. London's had it 5 plays, 10 plays, 16 plays, and they've punted on all 3 drives so far. So not a good second half for London. 3 wide receivers set for Nick Mullins. He's going to line up in the pistol. They only trail by a touchdown here at home on Sunday Night Football. Pass is complete to Anderson near the 10. Peterson knocks him out of bounds after a gain of 6 yards. Brings up 2nd and 4. Still plenty of time left in the game. 8:46 to go. Dillon the lone setback. Mullins from the pistol. Back to pass. Fires a screen to Dillon. Dillon has room. He's got the first down. Brought down by Schobert at the 16. We're fast approaching the midway point of the 4th quarter. Philadelphia has had the ball more here in the second half, but they have not scored since the 2nd quarter. Two tight ends set up for Philadelphia. Mullins calling the signals. Pitches left to Dillon. Dillon looking for room on that left side. Gets to the 20. Finally gets angled out of bounds by Schobert at the 24. Gain of 8 yards. Brings up 2nd and 2. Philadelphia struggles with the running game tonight. Dillon being pressed into service after the injury to Jones. Dillon gets the handoff. He's met at the line by Leonard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2. 6.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Philadelphia is going to empty out the backfield here. Mullins will line up in the pistol. He's directing traffic, trying to read what the defense is doing here. Man in motion comes across. Mullins back to pass with time. Fires looking for Smith-Schuster. Dove the ball. Can't come up with it. It's 4th and 2. And they're going to have to punt. 5:48 left to go here. And London may have just gotten away with one there. Huber out to punt. Sims is back deep to return near his own 40. Good kick by Huber. Sims looking for a hole. Finally brought down at the London 29. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. And London with the stop there. They're looking to possibly seal this game. With a nice long drive here, get a couple first downs, they might be able to seal the game. Although both teams still have a full complement of timeouts, and we still have the 2-minute warning. Mostert and Sherman lined up behind Wilson. Mostert will get the handoff. He gets to the 30. Finally brought down by Dunlap after a 2-yard gain. London definitely trying to slow the pace down now as we enter, or we're close to entering the 5-minute mark. Mostert goes out of the game. Everett comes in to replace him. Diggs, Hill, and Cobb are the wide receivers. Wilson from the shotgun. Back to pass. Completes to Cobb at 40. First down. No. Adrian Hill says no, they're short. And looks like Sean Payton's going to challenge it anyway. And he's going to lose that challenge, and London will be charged a timeout. So it brings up 3rd and inches. Full house backfield once again for the Knights. Wilson takes it. He's going to keep it. He gets across the line. He's going to get a few more. 8-yard gain. First down. 4.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. Good run there by Russell Wilson. And of course, this coming off season, a lot of questions. Last off season, very disappointed in losing in their first playoff once again. He does have a no trade clause with London. We'll see what happens as we near the off season this year. And, London could be successful, and with a new head coach, a championship-winning head coach with Birmingham, and see what they do. We'll see what happens. It's definitely a case worth watching. I formation behind Wilson as the clock is ticking. Hand off to Mostert. Mostert's going to get to about the 49. Almost got to midfield. Gain of 2. London continues to let the clock run. Philadelphia's going to sit on some timeouts here. We're at 2nd and 8. Ball right near midfield. Mostert has run the ball 23 times today for 115 yards. He'll get the handoff again. Met in the backfield. And Matt Judon slow to get up for Philadelphia. Oh man, that's one of the big primetime players for Philadelphia. He's clutching his back as he's heading out. Oh man, just the injury bug continues to bite Philadelphia this season. Meanwhile, Mostert was tackled for a yard loss. It brings up 3rd and 9. The clock does stop with 3:02 to go here in the 4th quarter. Passing situation, obviously, for the Knights. Wilson all alone in the backfield. Back to pass. Fires complete to Diggs at the 45. He's tripped up by Slame. We also have a penalty flag down. So let's kind of get everything organized here. Diggs is going to be short of the first down. There's a tripping called on defense. Ojemadua. So they're going to get the first down. London's going to get the first down anyway because of the tripping call. So overall, London's had 5 penalties for 31 yards. Philadelphia 3 for 25. And that one's going to sting for Philadelphia because they had Diggs stopped and was going into 4th down. But because of the tripping call on Ojemadua, London gets to hang on the ball. 2:54 to go, and they get closer to running the clock out here. Tough break for Philadelphia. Mostert back in. He'll get the handoff. Oh, and he gets the first down. Finally brought down by Jenkins, the outside linebacker. 12-yard gain. And London, looking at their remaining schedule, next week they will play host to Washington. Washington 4 and 5. And then out of their last 4 games after the Washington game, 3 of those 4 games will be on the road. At Toronto, then they play host to New York, at Tampa Bay, at Oakland. So a tough road schedule ahead for London. But that Toronto game, the Toronto game coming up after Washington, that might decide the Metropolitan Division right there. Those are the top 2 teams, and that could decide it right there. London running clock down. 2:41 to go. This might be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Mostert gets the call again, past the 20, down to the 15. And Raheem Mostert with that run, he's had 134 yards rushing. That's his season high today. Better than he did last week versus Houston. We're officially at the 2-minute warning. And London's ready to seal this game up. They lead at 16-10. Looking at the other sideline, Philadelphia will be at Toronto next week. Again, Toronto 7-2, very much in the mix for the Metropolitan Division Championship. And then after that, Philadelphia will play host to New York. We'll see them again on Sunday Night Football here in about 2 weeks. They'll be at Arizona. This was kind of already set up ahead of time because it's Thanksgiving weekend. We have a lot of teams playing on Thanksgiving Day. We'll have a Thanksgiving Day game from 2021 for you. But then the Sunday night game is going to be a special one. We're going to have the past two winners of the Pantheon Bowl. Arizona won it in 2020. Philadelphia won it in 2019. So they'll be playing each other. Then Philadelphia will host San Antonio, and they'll end the season at Washington. So that's their schedule coming up. Minute 51 to go here. And we're going to see if Mostert stays out there, or they're going to bring in Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's going to come in, probably mop-up duty here. Have to be careful with him. He's being limited in his carries this season. Gets a 1-yard gain. Philadelphia's going to call a timeout. Again, plenty of time. They have their timeouts. Minute 44 to go. So it brings up 3rd and 1. So we'll see what London does here. McCaffrey, the deep back. Hand off to McCaffrey. He's in. He's got the first down. First down, London. And that's pretty much going to seal it. Philadelphia will call their second timeout. Minute 36 left to go, though. But this is pretty much done and dusted. And I think all Russell Wilson will have to do now is just kneel down. London comes into tonight's game with the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're going to improve to 8-1, so they have a game better than Orlando and Toronto. Philadelphia will drop to 4-5. That's going to put them in that big jumble of 5 teams with a similar record. So it's going to come down to the conference records and the tiebreakers there. Wilson breaks the huddle. They get into the victory formation. And there's the kneel down. And he's going to let the clock run. And Philadelphia fans already heading for the exits there. Tough night for them. Philadelphia was in this game really starting late first quarter, early second quarter. Just couldn't convert points. We didn't have any scoring here in the second half, which was odd. Wilson kneeling the ball down once again. And this time Philadelphia will use a timeout. That's interesting. Philadelphia is going to use a timeout here with 54 seconds left. Brings up 3rd and 11. Again, anything can happen in a football game. Wilson will come out. They come back into the victory formation again. And he gets the kneel down. I think I've seen somebody fumble a kneel down one time in playing action PC football for 20 years. I think I've seen one play. I can't remember when, but one play where a guy fumbled on a kneel down. All right, so there's still going to be time left for 4th down, but Russell Wilson is telling Adrian Hill, I'm going to run this clock down as far as I can, all the way down to 13 seconds, which he does. And because of the score, they're going to bring out Harrison Butker. Harrison Butker will come out, kick the field goal that will make this a 9-point lead for London. There's the snap, the hold, and the kick. It's right down the middle. 32-yard field goal for Butker with just 8 seconds left. And that's pretty much the tail of the tape there. So Butker's going to probably squib this one. And that's going to be about it. The squib kick is picked up by Ruggs, the rookie wide receiver. Finally brought down at the 32. And that's the ball game, folks. London Knights 19. Philadelphia Blitz 10. Our most valuable player tonight, Raheem Mostert. He's going to finish the night 26 carries, 134 yards, and 1 touchdown. Again, this is Glenn Walker from Replay Sports Channel. Thanking you so much for joining us tonight. Don't forget, our next football broadcast, Week 10, Orlando Apollos at the Houston Roughnecks. Our next actual broadcast will be baseball, Major League Baseball 1967, Boston Red Sox, Minnesota Twins. That's going to be in another day or so. Again, we'll kind of see what happens with the dentist tomorrow, if you know what I mean. Again, if you haven't subscribed, there's the information to subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games. Good night.